everyone, I'm Carla. I'm 36 years old. I'm an ordinary woman who has been through some crazy things. Let's start from the beginning. Josh and I met in college. We were inseparable, and after a few years of dating, we got married. Our married life began happily. We had so many dreams of a wonderful future together, but things changed when we decided to have kids. When I held our first child, I felt so overwhelmed with love and joy. The same happened with our second child, 3 years later. But with the joy came more responsibilities, and that's when my relationship with Patricia, Josh's mother, started to shift. Josh was always his mother's pet, as his father left them when he was very young. My husband's mother, Patricia, was an overbearing presence in our lives. I can't help but say that she affected our relationship in all the wrong ways. Patricia had a way of putting herself into every part of our lives. As a result, Josh and I struggled to really have some time together without his mother being there or knowing of it. She believed that she should always come first, even before our own family. Patricia's constant complaints and demands put a lot of pressure on Josh. She would guilt him into spending more time with her. She would tell him that he was ignoring his duties as a son if he didn't prioritize her over everything else. It obviously put Josh in a tough spot. He had to pick between being a good son and being a good husband and father. In my opinion, the choice should have been very easy, but I let go at the time because I loved him and I wanted him to be happy. Unfortunately for me, Patricia's influence on Josh made him distance himself from me and our kids. He would leave me alone for long periods. He would constantly find any excuse to be out of the house. I had to take care of everything by myself. Obviously, this put a strain on our relationship. All I ever felt at the time was overwhelmed and ignored. I wanted a partner who would be there for me and share the responsibilities of parenting. Patricia's involvement made Josh and I argue a lot. I didn't understand why he couldn't set boundaries with his mother and put our family first. I felt like I was not a priority in our marriage. It sucked to feel like I was always competing for his attention and love. It became unbearable, and one day I talked to Josh about his behavior. This led to an argument, and we stopped speaking for a while. I can't take this anymore. You're always leaving me alone to take care of the kids while you spend all your time with your mother. It's not fair to me or our children.
What are you talking about? My mum needs me. She's been through so much and I want to be there for her.
I'm not denying the fact that your mother went through a lot. But what about us? What about our family? We need you too. It feels like you're choosing her over us every single time.
That's not true. I love you and the kids. But my mum is important to me. I can't abandon her as my dad did.
I'm not asking you to abandon her, babe. I just want you to find a balance. We're your family too, and we need your love and support.
You're being too demanding, Carla. I can't believe you're making me choose between you and my mother. You're supposed to support me no matter what.
It's not about choosing. It's about finding a way to be there for both of us. I feel like I'm drowning in responsibilities while you're off catering to your mother's every need.
You're exaggerating. I can't believe you're being so selfish. I'm doing my best to keep everyone happy, but it's never enough for you.
It's not about keeping everyone happy. It's about being a partner and a parent. We're a team, but lately I feel like I'm doing it all on my own.
Maybe I'm better off without this constant pressure. Maybe I should just go and live with my mother since she appreciates me more than you do.
Is that what you really want, Josh? To leave your own family behind? I thought we were in this together. But if you can't see that, maybe it's time to reevaluate everything. After some time, Josh came to me feeling sorry for what he had done and apologized. I forgave him and we hugged, hoping to move forward. But he had a surprise planned. He took me to our office where we had a beautiful world map framed on the wall. He asked me to choose a country, and I excitedly picked Greece. I figured out what Josh was trying to do. I felt happy that Josh was finally taking me on a trip. It had been ages since we'd gone on vacation, and it was just the best way to make up after our fights. I remember thinking that I had won the lottery with Josh at that moment. But boy, was I wrong. While I was busy swooning over Josh, he asked for my credit card because he had apparently maxed out his own. I trusted him completely and gave him my card. I was filled with excitement at the idea of exploring a new country together. The thought of walking through ancient ruins, trying delicious Greek food, and enjoying the beauty of the Mediterranean made my heart race with anticipation. Greece had always been a dream destination for me.
something I never thought would come true. But now, there it was, a chance to experience the rich history and vibrant culture of this beautiful country. I spent hours researching the top attractions, learning about the fascinating mythology and imagining the breathtaking views we would see. As the days passed, we got closer to our departure dates. I couldn't contain my excitement. I couldn't stop smiling, and my enthusiasm spread to my friends and family. The trip was not just a vacation. It was a chance for Josh and me to grow closer. It was a chance to create new memories and strengthen our relationship. It was a break from our daily routine. It would give us the chance to have an adventure and enjoy ourselves. As the days went by, our departure day came closer, and I started organising everything. I made sure all our travel documents were in order and checked with my parents if they could take care of our kids for 5 days, just in case Josh's mother couldn't. Josh was busy with work, so we didn't have much time to discuss our trip logistics. Finally, a week before our trip, we had a chance to sit down and talk. Babe, I wanted to talk to you about our upcoming trip. I was wondering if we should discuss whether the kids will stay with your mum or my parents while we're away.
Why would they stay anywhere else? You'll be here to take care of them, won't you?
I don't understand. What do you mean? We're going on this trip together, right?
No, this is a trip for me and my mother.
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, she made me realize that you've been controlling me too much, taking away my role as a husband and a father. She reminded me that it's a woman's duty to handle the kids and the house, not mine.
I can't believe what I'm hearing, Josh. You planned a trip behind my back with your mother, and you're using her words to justify it.
Please try to understand, babe. I love you, but my mother is important to me. She has a point, and I need some time away with her.
This is unacceptable. You can't just decide to leave me and our kids behind because your mother convinced you of something so archaic. We're a team, and you're supposed to support and prioritize our family.
I'm sorry, babe, but I need this trip. I need to spend time with my mother and reassess things. It's not about leaving you behind, it's about finding myself again.
Finding yourself at the expense of our marriage and family? I can't believe you're being so firm about this. It's hurtful and shows where your true priorities lie.
I've made up my mind, babe. I'm going on this trip. There's nothing you can say to change it. My mum needs me, and I won't let you stop me from being there for her.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Why would Josh even do this to me? I mean, it's not like I would have said no if he asked to go on a trip with his mother. But to make me pick the place and make me believe that we were going on my dream vacation for weeks, that was beyond cruel. I felt angry and hurt, and I decided to get revenge. I noticed that Josh never gave me back my credit card after booking the tickets. I quickly realized that they had planned to use my card for their expensive vacation. I didn't say anything. Instead, I waited for the right time. Once they reached Greece, I waited for a day, letting them think they had won. But at midnight, I blocked my card. Then I turned off my phone and went to sleep, knowing the next day would be intense. I kept my phone off the entire day. I decided I deserved a well-needed break. I invited my parents and Bessie to spend the day with my kids and me at an amusement park. That day was one of the best days of my life. Not only did I finally feel heard and seen, but I also got to laugh and do silly things with the people that I loved. My parents, being the amazing and supportive grandparents they are, insisted on taking care of the kids so that Bessie and I could have some of our fun. They knew what I was going through and believed that I deserved a break. It felt so nice to see my kids hold their grandparents' hands and drag them over to their favourite ride. Bessie and I had a blast at the amusement park, enjoying cotton candy and sharing funny stories. It felt like I was a kid again. I was having so much fun and felt so refreshed. We took a lot of pictures to remember our special day together too. At the same time, my parents took care of my kids. They showered them with love. I saw their happy faces as they rode kiddie rides and heard their laughter everywhere. It made me happy to know that they were safe and surrounded by love. As the day ended, I felt so thankful for my parents' love, Bessie's friendship, and the special moments with my kids. It showed me how important it is to take care of myself and find happiness in the midst of challenges. When I turned on my phone that night, I saw many missed calls and texts from Josh and Patricia. Josh called me just 5 minutes after I switched on my phone.
Hello? Babe, thank goodness you finally picked up. Our card isn't working and we're stranded without a place to stay. You need to call the bank right now.
Josh, calm down. I blocked the card.
What? How could you do that? We're in a foreign country, Carla. We need a place to stay. I blocked the card because you used it for a trip that was meant for you and your mother, not for us. You left me alone with the kids. What made you think I would allow you to enjoy your trip on my card after you deceived me? This is ridiculous. How could you leave us stranded like this? We're your husband and your mother-in-law. You should take care of us. I've taken care of our family on my own for too long. You chose to prioritize your mother over us, and I've had enough. I won't enable your behavior any longer. You're being selfish, Carla. We're in a difficult situation and you're only thinking about yourself. You've ruined our trip. Josh, you ruined our marriage by disregarding our family's needs. I won't apologize for standing up for myself and our children. Good luck with your trip. Goodbye. After the call with Josh, I felt so many different emotions. I was angry because he tried to blame me for everything, but I also felt relieved that I finally stood up for myself. Along with the anger and relief, I felt sad too. It hurt to realize that our marriage had fallen apart. But I knew that this was the right step to find my happiness and create a better future for me and my kids. Bessie, my best friend, stayed the night, and I told her about the whole situation. She encouraged me to file for divorce and reminded me that I deserved better. Everything all right, Car? I just got off the phone with Josh. What'd that jerk have to say? Well, initially he was panicking about my card not working, so I told him I blocked the card. He then proceeded to blame me for leaving them stranded and calling me selfish. He told me I ruined their trip. I can't believe his audacity. What? How dare he speak to you like that? You don't deserve to be treated that way. You've done so much for him and the kids. Hell, you even paid for this trip because he tricked you. He's the one who's being selfish. I know, Bess. It hurt so much to hear him lash out at me like that. I thought maybe he would apologize, but it's like he doesn't see how his actions have hurt our family. It sounds like he's lost sight of what's important. It's not fair for you to carry the burden alone while he prioritizes his mother. You deserve a partner who values and supports you. Have you thought about divorce? Yeah, I've been considering it. After everything that's happened, I can't help but feel like our marriage is over. I never thought it would come to this, but I can't continue living in this toxic dynamic. I know that it's a difficult decision to make, but sometimes we have to prioritize our happiness and well-being. You deserve to be with someone who appreciates and respects you. I'll be here for you every step of the way. Thanks, Bess. I don't know what I would do without you. Scary to think about starting over, but I know deep down that it's the right choice for me and the kids. You're strong, Car, and you have a bright future ahead. You deserve happiness, and I'll be here to support you through the process, no matter what you decide. Eventually, Josh returned home. Anticipating a rough fight, I had Bessie watch the kids at her place for the day. I waited in the living room for Josh to arrive. My heart was racing and my palms were sweating. I kept reminding myself that Josh messed up really badly and that I deserved better. I heard a car pull up in our driveway, and I prepared myself. Josh stormed into the house and began yelling at me. How could you embarrass me like that? Blocking the card and leaving us stranded. I had to beg my friends for money just to get through the next few days. Josh, I didn't embarrass you. You embarrassed yourself by betraying me and abandoning our family. I can't believe you would prioritize your desires over our well-being. You've always been controlling, Carla. You never let me have a say in anything. This trip was supposed to be for me and my mother to get away from your suffocating grip. It's not about control, Josh. It's about being a team and sharing responsibilities. You've let your mother's influence cloud your judgment and it's tearing us apart. I can't live like this anymore. Tired of his yelling, I handed him the divorce papers. Josh's reaction to the divorce papers was a mix of shock and disbelief. As he glanced at the papers I handed him, his face went pale and his eyes widened in surprise. It was as if the reality of our crumbling marriage had finally hit him with full force. Carla, please, let's talk about this. Can't we find a way to fix things? We've been through so much together. It's too late for that now. We've reached a point where trust and respect have been broken. I can't continue living in a relationship where I feel neglected and betrayed. I never meant for it to come to this. I didn't realize the extent of the damage until now. Can't we try counseling or find a way to rebuild what we had? I understand your pain, but we've tried to address our issues before. It's clear that we've grown apart and staying together would only prolong our unhappiness. How could you embarrass me like this? Putting our problems out in the open for everyone to see. You've humiliated me. I didn't do this to embarrass you. I did it to protect myself and our children. I can't let our relationship continue in this toxic cycle. I'm asking you to leave the house and come back only when you're ready to sign the divorce papers. I stood my ground, remaining calm and resolute in my decision. I had endured months of pain and disappointment, and I knew that this was the only way forward.
It was time for me to prioritize my well-being and the well-being of our children. I calmly asked him to leave the house and come back only after he had signed the papers. Finally, I felt a sense of liberation and a glimmer of hope for a brighter future.